Guys, we just got out with a 9x profit, and if there's one takeaway is that great trades do not require complex setups. Absolutely. Instead, they require a very simple but precise understanding of what's going on. So let me bring you back to where the trade started and let's see how the whole trade evolved. Today I'm looking at the Euro US dollar on the 4-hour time frame, and I'm using just two indicators, the bottom stop signal and the RSI Exhaustion. And by the way, if you're interested in testing them yourself, you find the link in the description down below. So if we have a look at this pair, we can see that it's in a clear downtrend. We can see it's a very clear downtrend. But what happened most recently is that we had a very interesting downtrend, because the pace of the downtrend is very constant, and we don't have, throughout all this downward movement, we don't have any kind of retracement, any consolidation, except for very minor movements here or kind of here, but we don't have a very significant retracement. Like you might say, well, we have a downtrend here, but we have at least one and two kind of poses, a little bit of retracement of the price. Here instead it's very constant. It constantly moves to the downside, which is typically something that signals some weakness in this movement. Moreover, we have the price which goes all the way down with a very significant and constant pace, but at the same time we have the extra confirmation that this movement is not sustainable by the fact that the RSI instead is actually, let me draw a trend line here, is actually moving higher. You see? So the price goes down and the RSI goes up. This means that we have divergence, and divergence is always the first condition that we check when we use the bottom stop signal and the RSI exhaustion in order to have a setup. So the first condition must be to have divergence between the price, which in this case goes down, and the RSI, which in this case goes up. So the first condition is checked. The second condition in order to have a setup is to have the RSI exhaustion to be exhausted. In this case, we are looking for an uptrend movement, so we want to have a bearish exhaustion, which means to have the RSI colored red. And as you can see throughout all this this area down here, the RSI, it's pretty much all red. It's also oversold, which is it's okay. It's an additional confirmation, but the most important thing is that it's exhausted, bearish exhausted. In particular, we want to see it bearish exhausted on at least the last part of the movement, because it's the one that we are most interested in, because we are about to enter into our trade. But the fact that this is pretty much all red down here, it's a very, very strong confirmation that all this movement here is very weak, and it's I'm not saying it's a kind of a false movement, but it's very, very likely that this is not sustainable, totally not sustainable. Okay, so the second condition is checked as well. The last one is the simplest one, which is to have a bottom, and we have one here. In order for it to be confirmed, you always need to wait the close of the next candle, because when the next candle closes, you are sure that the signal on the previous candle is confirmed. Of course, you can get into a trade before while a candle is still open, but this is something at your own risk, and depending on your risk attitude, you might take such trades or not. I do not personally, but I mean, it's my personal overall trading style. So I want to be pretty conservative and play safely when I trade, I'm looking at the best opportunities, and when I find the best opportunities, I like to play them safely so that I'm sure that over the long run I can be consistently profitable. Okay, so the three conditions are all met. So the divergence, first condition, exhaustion, second condition, and to have, in this case, a bottom, it's the third condition. We can definitely place our order, which looks like this. So the entry level is going to be approximately this one. It's already set into my trading account, all the levels, but I'm showing you right now here. So the entry level, this one, the stop loss, let's see, the stop loss is going to be, let me see, of course we want to give it a bit more room to go down. It still could go down a little bit, so even though I don't think it's going down any much in respect to where it is right now, but we still need to at least stay lower than the lowest level that the price has reached most recently, so this level here. So I think that we are enough safe here. We are kind of twice as much as this level here, as you can see. So this stop loss should be enough safe. Of course, I'm not looking in this case for a very big stop loss, because if we are wrong in our analysis, which means that the price goes down, then I want to get out of the trade, because it means that our analysis, our initial analysis here is wrong, and we don't know how much wrong. So the price could continue to go down even significantly, and in this case I don't want to be involved into the trade, so I don't want to have the price into my stop loss aiming for a trend reversal. If the price goes up, as I'm expecting, because everything on a technical point of view is saying that this is not sustainable and the price will very likely go up anytime soon, then it's totally okay, and we just need to give the price a bit more room to go a little bit lower if it wants, but just a little bit. If instead the price wants to still go lower, then I don't want to stay into the trade, and so it's okay if we get the stop loss. Regarding the target, I'm looking for this target all the way up here. It's a very significant target. I mean, it's huge. It's huge because the risk-reward ratio is more than 9, or at least 9. So it's gonna be a 9x profit if we get the trade right, which is something just amazing. It's unbelievable. These kind of opportunities happen rarely, but when they do, it's very amazing. So if we get the trade right, it's gonna be amazing. Why did I choose this level? Well, first of all, because as I said before, this kind of downtrend movement is really not sustainable. There is no single retracement here, a very major retracement here, so it's not sustainable. And if we assume that the price will go higher, then the chances that it will reach this level and rebounds all the way back to where it started and probably go beyond this level are very, very likely, because this is kind of a, as I said before, it's not technically a false movement because it's a prolonged period of time. It happened in a prolonged period of time and not like one candle down and one candle up, but it's kind of because it's not sustainable. The second reason why I chose this level is that, let me draw a horizontal line for you. If we have a look at what happened in the most recent past around this level, we can see that it has been tested a lot of time. Once here, and then throughout all this area here, and then kind of here, and then if we go even more in the past, here, 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 and also here, and also here. So you can see that this level is a very major level. It's a level that the price likes to visit very, very frequently. It's not a major level in the sense that we have a major technical structure, because it's kind of a minor structure, but it's a major level in the sense that the price likes to visit this level very frequently. It happened multiple times in the past, and if we expect the price to go higher, then the chances that it will at least reach this level or probably go beyond, as I said before, are very, very, very high. Okay guys, so the trade is set. We just need to be patient and see whether we get the trade and if the price starts to move higher, and I'll keep you updated. We are now 2 days into the trade, and the price has moved kind of sideways here. It almost went down, not very close to our stop loss, but almost, but then it's moving sideways. Which to me is a very good indication that we got it right, in the sense that our analysis, initial analysis, is totally correct. Why am I saying this? Well, first of all, as I said, the price is moving sideways, which is a very good indication because it means that the price has stopped falling. And this is a very great confirmation, considering the fact that the price has been in a constant downtrend for quite some time. So the fact that this downtrend is now kind of broken, it means that we are right. So far we are right in our analysis. And the second reason is that if we have a look at the RSI, what's going on down here, we can clearly see that the RSI is exploding to the upside. And this means that the price should quite soon, probably quite soon, move to the upside more significantly. I'm not saying that quite soon we are going to reach the target, because we can never predict how and when the price will move. We can only predict where it is more likely to go. So we can predict that if the price goes up, it is very likely that it will reach this target, at least touch this target, but we cannot predict how it will reach this target and in how much time. So it could be like one candle straight up, or it could take forever. We can never predict such movements and the time it's gonna take. We can only predict the levels. So I can say that if it goes below here, I want to get out. If instead it will move to the upside, as I am expecting, then it will very likely reach this level up here. And so far, the price action and the RSI, the movement down here in the RSI, are both confirming that we are correct. So we just need to be patient and see how this trade continues. Another update, guys. So the price is now moving up, and it's probably not going to be just a retracement of this downtrend. So it's like a downtrend, retracement, and then another downtrend. It's probably going to be an uptrend, a major uptrend, like we were expecting, like we are expecting, and we assumed in our initial analysis. Why am I saying this? Well, if we have a look here, we got a top, okay? So this should indicate that we should sell now, or at least close the trade. However, I definitely don't believe this signal. I just ignore it, because it actually, if we have a look at the RSI Exhaustion, it's not confirming this top here. So we always want to compare the bottom stop signal with the RSI Exhaustion to have both confirming the same analysis, and in this case they don't. Instead, what the RSI Exhaustion is saying is that the RSI is moving up. It's moving up, it's continuing to move up. And if you have a look at this pattern down here, it's a very bullish pattern. So it means that the RSI and so the price probably could still break to the upside, this pattern here, and maybe go overbought and maybe even exhausted, bullish exhausted in this case. But we know from experience that if the RSI goes overbought and exhausted as well, it could stay overbought for a significant and exhausted for a significant period of time. And throughout all this time, the price will continue to move higher and higher and higher. See, for example, what happened here during the downtrend. The RSI started to be exhausted around this level here at 44, like about 50. Okay, so halfway into its lower end. But the price was just beginning its downtrend, and then it went almost oversold about here, and here it started to get oversold, but it was not even halfway to its what it looks like to be a bottom. So what I'm saying here is that I'm definitely skipping this signal. I'm just ignoring it because the RSI is saying that the price will probably continue to go higher, and so this is not going to be just a retracement of this downtrend, looking for another continuation of the downtrend, but rather it's going to be an uptrend, a significant uptrend. And so in this case, we are definitely right in our initial analysis, and we are definitely right in keeping the target at least up to this level here. Okay, I'll keep you updated, guys. And the price is moving higher very quickly, because if it started like sideways here, then it moved to the upside with a moderate pace, but then it definitely accelerated. As you can see, it's accelerating is its kind of growth pace. It's moving fast. It's like now it's becoming an impulsive movement. So we should get to our target because we expect it to reach this level, and we should get it quite soon. Of course, we are not there yet, so the trade is not over yet. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention that in my trading account, of course, I'm at break even. So when the price formed this top here, so in the previous update, I forgot to mention, but I was ready at break even, so I moved the stop loss here. But then once it moved higher and closed this candle here, I moved it below this top here, so that in the worst case scenario, if the price from here would have come down all the way down, even though I was not expecting this to happen, but we always need to play safe. Even though, sorry, I will cancel these trend lines here because they're not very necessary. So if the price from this level here would have come down, I would have been stopped out at this level here, which means that I would have made money, which is very great. So in the worst case scenario, even right now, if the price comes down all the way down here, even though it's very unlikely considering the RSI and the price action, but I will close the trade with a profit of more than 1, because you see it's more than 1. If instead the price ultimately reaches our target, then we are out with a 9x return. Okay, so we still have a bit more room to go. Let's see what happens next. The RSI is definitely confirming that the price will continue to move higher, and the price action, as I said, is just moving more and more impulsively to the upside. And we are now out with a 9x profit, which is Excellent, amazing, amazing. Let me extend this area here. As you can see, the price passed through our the target, this level here. As I said, this was going to be a very likely level the price would have liked to visit and probably go beyond. Right now it is kind of beyond this level. I expect the price probably to continue at least a bit higher, because it will probably not stop here, and this is yet another indication that we were initially correct. And when this kind of returns, a 9x profit, happen, they are rare, of course, because maybe they happen like once in a few months, like a 9x, maybe sometimes it's a 6, 7, 8x, but this kind of returns are pretty rare. But when they happen, they give us so much confidence in the analysis that we make, in the fact that we want to keep it clear and simple, and they give us so much confidence in the tools that we use, in the indicators that we use, that they are still clear, very clear and simple. And as you can see, we were able to make this 9x profit with just two indicators, not a naked chart, because it's almost impossible to predict what the price is going to do in a naked chart, because the theory is one thing, but the price can always move differently. So you might have a very beautiful, like a wedge or consolidation, but then the price goes totally differently than you expect. And you also don't want to have at the same time like 6, 7 indicators on a single chart, because at any given point in time they will tell you, okay, three indicators will tell you sell, and 3 indicators will tell you, okay, now it's time to buy. So it's gonna mess up your whole analysis. What you want to do is to be able to make a very clear and simple analysis, and this is what we do here. And as you can see, we were able to get this 9x profit. It's rare, because on average it's kind of like the average trade is like between 3 and 4x. A minimum, I have a minimum of 2x. I don't trade trades, I don't get involved in trades that are less than 2. But that's of course my personal way of trading. It's the overall strategy that I have. Of course, every trader can have a very different approach to the market. But the average trade, it's kind of 3 or 4x, and the fact that we were able to get a 9x is just amazing. Okay, before I end the video, let me comment on what happened here, because you might be interested in this situation here. So what happened, just after the last update, we got the price which went down, and then down again in the next candle, all the way down here, and then retraced, and we got another top. Again, however, if we had a look at the RSI, it is true that it was going down, but as you can see here, it stopped here. So it was kind of a retest, let me say, a retest of this level. So if I extend this trend line, it was kind of a retest. So it broke to the upside, this consolidation here, and then it just retested the consolidation. So this was not the beginning of a downtrend. At least it was not saying so, the RSI Exhaustion. It was just a retest, a movement to the downside, just a little retracement. But then the price would eventually move even higher, and so it did. So guys, I hope you liked the video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like it down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you didn't already. And if you have any question, feel free to ask down below as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video.